I'm going to give you an overview about the Consumer Protection and Commercial Compliance Division. We're responsible of two main factors here. The first thing is to ensure that all companies are compliant with the business laws and best practices. And the second is to ensure the proper implementation of Consumer Protection Law, which was signed and issued by His Highness Sheikh Khalifa, the President of the UAE, in 2006. You've been seeing a lot know your rights on some of the retail outlets. We summarize those rights in 5 rights. The right to know is to know the accurate information about the products that you're selling. The right to safety, which comes first, is to protect all consumers from any product that may harm their health. The right to choose among different products with this, similar quality and competitive prices. The right to representation is the right to give your feedback about products, which will eventually develop those products. And the right to be informed is part of what we're practicing here, and what we do with consumers is to inform both retailers and consumers about their rights and obligations. How would you benefit as a retailer from complying with such laws? First of all, this will help in providing higher customer service to your customers. It will increase the customer loyalty, and it will help you in competing in a very healthy environment. And we will protect all retailers from inaccurate complaints. We in DED ensure that we don't accept any complaint unless the consumer tries to approach the retailer first to have a better, healthy environment. If they don't reach a resolution, then we will be happy to take this complaint. But what we do in DED is we try to get all parties together on one table. We get the retailer and the consumer with the specialist team in DED, and we try to find a solution that will benefit all parties as much as we can within the boundary of laws. But to be able to help retailers, there's a set of obligations on the retailers, so we can be able to help them in a better way. First of all, we encourage all retailers to avoid misleading advertising, to have all of their policies clear and visible for consumers, definitely to sell their products in the UAE currency, and to provide all consumers with a detailed receipt. And if there are some warranties or guarantees on their product, they have to first of all document it, and they have to provide it to the consumer. And the most important point that we'd like to advise the retailer on is to increase the level of information among the salespeople. It's very important for salespeople to have the required information about the product. This will eventually increase even the sales. And it's part of the 5 rights that we just went through. The right to know. It's the consumer right to know whatever he or she needs before buying the product. That's why we'd like to highlight it as a very important point. Now we'll move to the policies. We have 4 policies. We started by covering the sectors that had most of the complaints in the last year and a half. It does not mean that we'll not cover other sectors. We'll do that, but we're taking it into phases. We're dealing with more than 1,840 business activities in Dubai. We cannot do everything at one time. We're taking it as a learning curve for both of us. We'll develop those policies with the private sector, have a good policy, then we can move to other sectors. We'll discuss with you 4 policies, and they come in sequence. The warranty policy, then the exchange, then the refund. And the last policy is not part of this sequence. It's a very generic policy, which is about invoices and service providers. This is the last session that we're having here today. Prior to this session, we had been having sessions for the last 2 weeks, and about 1,661 retailers attended in those sessions. We had those sessions in 9 shopping malls. We rented the cinema theaters to handle those sessions, and we met in this conference room with 4 business groups: the gold, electronics, textile, and automobile. What we concentrated on this year is the warranty policy, especially on the automobile sector, the textile, the garments, accessories, and electronics. Most of the complaints were around those sectors. And now we'll move to the warranty policy. You might notice that the policy is very generic because we don't want to go into a lot of restrictions. First of all, if there is a warranty, the warranty shall be clearly documented in Arabic and in any other language that the retailer prefers. We will communicate the same point with the retailers. If the policy is not documented, we'll assume that there is no warranty policy. So it should be documented. A very common point that some distributor or retailer have is that there are some terms that might end up in expiration of the warranty policy. If this is valid in your policy, then you should specify what are those terms. And a very common term is the product was misused. If it is misused, you have to specify what does a misuse covers, because we're dealing with more than 195 nationalities in Dubai, different cultures. People, they might not consider it as misuse. And a big percentage of the sales even goes to tourists. We have to specify what does the misuse. And to continue on that, we have to give all consumers who buy the product, if there is an extension on the warranty, we have to specify what does the extension warranty covers. In a lot of cases, for example, electronics, maybe the TVs, for example, the warranty will cover that the colors will not fade on the TV. Specify it, because if you just leave it as a blank, we in DED will consider that this is an overall warranty that will cover all parts. We just advise you to specify it. And during the warranty period, and you are free to choose the warranty period as long as it's not covered by the law. By the consumer protection law, there are very generic guidelines when it comes to the duration of the warranty. For example, for long life products, they state that the warranty should not be less than 5 years. For electronics, not less than 6 months to 1 year. There are some broad guidelines. We know that some electronics, they offer 3 years or 2 years. This is up to the retailer. But during the warranty period, you should have the spare parts for this warranty. So as long as you are the retailer who offered this warranty service, you have to have the spare part during the warranty service. But if the warranty service is over, then you're not forced to have the spare parts. If you have a periodic maintenance, you have to have a log. This will protect you even more than protecting the consumers. It's very important to register all maintenance on the product. In case we found that there is a complaint, in a lot of cases we go and we try to track the history of the product. So having a log will, in a lot of cases, protected the retailers more than the consumers, and it will help the retailers even to know exactly what are the common defects that happen in the product and try to improve the product. And there is a case that might not be very common here, but it happened in a very rare occasions. If there is a defect, and by any chance the retailer knew about it, and it was, we call it as a hidden defect, and suddenly the same day that the warranty expired, the next day they informed the consumer that this happened because of a defect. That's why we'll go back to the logs. If we can prove that the retailer did what they were supposed to do, then maybe it happened after the duration. This is fine. But if we can find out that this been happening before, then the retailer is responsible to solve it, even if the warranty is expired, because they found out about the defect before the expiration of the warranty. Moving to the exchange. In the warranty, as you noticed, we encourage the retailers to repair the product, any defective product. I'll just go back to the warranty. A very important point here is in DED, all of those optional policies will take place only on defective and difficult to repair products. It does not cover that consumers change their mind, they don't like it, it does not fit their home decoration, all of those excuses. We only talk about defective products. A manufacturing defective product, this is what we are covering here. If a defect was there, you are not being able to solve it, then this eventually will lead to an exchange of either the product as a whole or the defective part of the product. Only under one condition: if you can prove that the consumer adhered to the instruction of use. To be able to do that, it's very important for retailers to provide consumers with the instruction of use. And you have to be specialized in your product. There is a case that was raised in when we had the gold session. One of the gold retailers, he said that consumers always complain that the diamonds, they fall off. And he's not sure that it's from the consumer. You have to be the most specialized organization or person about your product. You have to know, is it misuse or not? If this defect is happening a lot and you can't know if it is misused or not, then you have to improve the salespeople knowledge, and you have to develop your knowledge as a retailer to protect yourself. We just replied to this retailer. It's a big problem that if you don't know exactly what you're selling, either this defect is really happening with the consumer, and it's your fault as a retailer, and you have to improve your product, or you're allowing consumers to take advantage of you not knowing your product. That's why it's very important for retailers to know their product inside and out, and to provide all consumers with the instruction of use. And you can do it either by a separate document. If the product is very simple, you can write it on the invoice, the back of the invoice. You just deliver the message. And if you have to exchange some parts of the product, use it with the same quality of spare parts and specification. And we know that most of retailers, especially here in Dubai, we don't have this problem. But in case this happens, the same products and spare parts should be there. You're not being able to repair it. You couldn't exchange or change this specific defect in the product. This will eventually end up in having a cash refund. The sales process is an agreement between the retailer and the consumer on a specific product with specific features that should function in a specific way. If the retailer couldn't repair it as the product was sold or promised to function, and couldn't exchange the defective part or the product as a whole, this will eventually end up into a cash refund. And another case of cash refund, if the consumer agreed on a product, and there is a very common case, especially in electronics, sometimes, especially on sales season or festival, they buy a TV, and this chain of stores, they have 20 stores, and one of the 19 people who bought the last 19 pieces eventually will be in contact after 1 hour that, sorry, we apologize, your TV is out of stock, but we have, due to our courtesy to our customer, we will offer you a better range TV with the same price. It happens. The consumer, he has the right to refuse it, even if it is better quality. The agreement is for a specific product with specific features. That's why it's very important to have good integration with the inventory and stocks, and to check your stock before selling. The consumer is not forced to disclose the reason he or she bought the product to the retailer, even if the product is better, and sometimes does not make a sense to retailers that someone rejects a better product. But they have the right to stick to the reasons that they have. That's why the specification agreed upon is very important. Even if the feature is as simple as a very minor feature, still, we have to make sure that whatever feature we agreed on is the same product that will be delivered. This can be done by having better integration with the inventory. And the last point, which is very important, and maybe it's very common in electronics mostly, since we have a lot of importers, if the product is not suitable to the environmental factor of the UAE, it cannot take the heat, cannot take the humidity. Sometimes the customers request for a specific mobile phone, or what happened with the new iPad. They cannot wait until the new iPad comes to the market. They just want it as fast as they can. Even if the consumer signs on it, by law you cannot sell something that does not suit the environment. This will create a high risk for you as a retailer. The product might never break down, but whenever it breaks down, then this will eventually, you won't be able to replace it or exchange it, so you'll end up by refunding the product. That's why the environmental factors are very important. In other cases, if the product is not imported and you're the distributor of the product, and as I remember a long time ago, maybe more than 15 years ago, American cars used to always have you always heat up. They cannot take the heat over here. But the good approach that the distributors here did is that they contacted the mother company and they tried to develop the product to suit the environment. You can do the same thing for your products. Try to develop the product, take the feedback and the complaints as a positive element. Complaints are free of charge way to develop our business. We have a lot of complaints even against DED. We always try to take them and improve our policies. We advise the retailers to do the same. Take the complaints as a positive methodology to improve your products, and you can always make the manufacturer aware of the environmental factors. There is a case of deposit refund cases. Some businesses, they take a deposit upon order. First of all, if you have such process of taking deposits, you have to have your policy very clear about the deposit. If there is a cash refund, if you paid by cash, you'll be refunded by cash. If you pay by credit, you'll be your card will be recharged within 1 to 2 weeks. You have to specify it. A lot of cases, consumers come, they pay by credit and they want to get refund in cash. We don't do anything about this. We always tell them you get your refund at the same mean of payment. And it goes back to the retailer if they want to do that, but we'll never enforce such thing. That's why it's very important to have your policy clarified, especially with the deposit refund. Again, if I try to buy an expensive product or a product that allows deposit refund, a car or a big shipment, and we agreed on certain specification, but what I got is different, I have the right to get my deposit back. This is similar to the exchange and what we mentioned before. Specification is very important. Sometimes it's not really the retailer or the distributor fault. The mother company discontinued the product. We know that, but when you had the agreement, this is an official agreement between the consumer and retailer, and you should be aware when those products will be discontinued. You should handle it in a very careful manner. And the last point about the deposit refund, if you agreed on delivering the product in a specific time, for example, customized furniture, we'll deliver the furniture within 2 to 3 months. 3 months passed, maybe only 2-3 days. It's not a big deal, only 2-3 days delay. He has the right to get his refund. That's why we always, because he may bought it to ship it, to do something with it. And the delay might cost the consumer a lot of losses. So what we advise is that if you know the shipment will take 1 month, it's better to have a grace period for you. Have some room of freedom. Say we'll deliver it with 45 days, 50 days. It's better to have some room so you won't have such problems. The last policy is very generic policy about invoices. It's very clear. If you have an invoice, you have to specify the detail of the goods on the invoice, the date of purchase, the quantity, and the date, and in some cases the buyer name, and you have to avoid having the price as a lump sum. In case there is an exchange, you have to always have each product with the quantity with the price. If you state the warranty on the invoice, some businesses they do that, they just write 6 months warranty. You have to specify what does the warranty covers. Just specifying the duration means that it will cover everything. If you allow partial payments, 50% now, 50% upon delivery, or whatever percentages, you have to specify the amount that the consumer paid. This will protect you as a retailer in most of the cases. A lot of consumers, they will claim that they paid the whole amount. You have to specify the date, and if there is partial payment, and the amount that was paid. And definitely you have in the invoice, you just use the UAE currency. And in businesses that have services provided to customers, such as restaurants or cafe, you should not have service charges unless you sell alcoholic beverages, because the government impose taxes on such businesses. Other than that, you're not advised to have service charges because it is against the law. That's all. We don't want to take a lot from your time. We want to use the time in having a better Q&A session. This is our email. If you have any feedback or suggestions about those policies, again, those policies are optional. It will take place only when we receive a complaint. And this is our number. At the end of the day, we're consumers. And if you have any consumer complaint, we'll be very happy to help you. And the fax is just another communication channel. You can send us through it your suggestion and feedback. And now I'll invite Mr. Adil and Mr. Ahmed to join me in the panel. Thank you.
Samia from Al Gorga Group. I just want to inquire about the conditions which we can write in the invoice, because nowadays we always hearing that the economic department not allowed to type any conditions on the sales invoice.
Yes, the invoice or receipt is mainly to specify the detail of the purchase or the buying process or the selling from your side. Just the detail about the product. You cannot have any terms and condition on the invoice because it is not made for this purpose. You should have your policies based on your business. You'll put it behind the cashier. You'll give the consumer some brochures, but trying to avoid putting it in the receipt. And there is another point that is very important. We cannot just assume that if we put it either on the receipt or on the behind the cashier that consumers will really read it. We have to always encourage our salespeople to put effort of informing the consumers. It will not even take less than 1 minute to inform them about the policy. You know the top 3 or top 4 type of complaints that you receive. Some businesses they deal with refunds. Some other businesses they have product and certain issues. Just mention this, the common issues that you have through the policy. Tell them if you purchase, for example, by credit card, if there is any refund, we will recharge it within 14 days. If this was the case, or any other cases. If the consumer backs off and don't buy the product, then you saved yourself from a consumer that might cause a headache for you. The problem is that salespeople sometimes they just run after targets, and they don't try to encourage the or inform the retailers of the conditions, and then eventually some other people who will handle the complaints, and the salespeople they just reach the target. We don't want this to happen. We'd like to have the salespeople transferring the real information about the product. Usually, if the consumer knows about the product and how it functions and knows your policy, more than 70% of the cases you won't have any complaints because they know everything about the product. But if the consumer, they don't know how to use the product and they don't know your policy and they're used to a policy in their country, eventually this will have a lot of clashes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Doesn't, writing the policy in the invoice, won't that avoid the mistakes which your sales staff can do, while saying or giving the information to the consumer? You're actually protecting the consumer. He has something in writing. He can take it home. He can look at it, and if he has a complaint, he knows on what to base his complaint on. Whereas if it's stuck on the wall, it's something which he has to remember, or it's something which you have to rely on your salesman to give the information which might not be 100% accurate.
True. It started by having proper information on the receipt. Then it ended up by having size 3 font, the bottom of the receipt or the back of it, and you need binoculars or telescope to really read it. People, they don't read it. And we know that consumers, they don't really read it. And we have to help DED and retailers, we have to work closely in increasing the level of awareness of consumers. You can give them another document. When they will see that it's another document, consumers usually will not remember that the receipt has any other information. If you can put one flyer, won't say a big brochure, that specify the policies, this will attract their attention more because they always get used to the receipts, and most of them, they even get rid of the receipt. But when they will see a separate document that's titled with our policy as a retailer, then this will attract their attention more than getting used to use it as a receipt.
Balaji from Home Center, thank you very much for the explanations. Most of it, what you summed it up, is what we face daily. What happens is we wanted to be accountable, we wanted to be as transparent to the customer. But you mentioned the case of delivery. What happens is, yes, given the fact that we can't be very sharp to the second in terms of delivery, we try to tell the customer, but I'm not trying to justify. The salesman reaches the target, so he tries to say, if he says you have to be there at 3 p.m., we will say definitely we'll be there at 3 p.m. when we know that definitely we cannot do that. So what happens is that is the time when the customer gets into some subjective assessment and says, I don't need the product. It becomes the state of what you said, change of mind. So what is the recourse we have as retailers when we put in the efforts to go there? We try to honor our commitment. That's where the refund, that's number one. Number two, what you said exactly about cash and credit card. This is a day-to-day affair, I'm sure, with all retailers. We try to convince them, you paid by credit card, we have to put it back into the credit card, and that takes a process because the collection banker takes the time. Do you suggest that we should put that bold, and because the principle of trade operates on buyer beware, and whatever you put as conditions, there are some, I'm not saying I'm all the time, there are times when the customer doesn't want that product for X, Y, Z reason, and try to take recourse under the consumer protection rights. Yes. And that's where we get into debates and opinions. The third one is the last one. Yes, we do get complaints. What happens is a lot of the times customer gets lost into where to go and complain. My request to you is whenever there's a complaint to any appropriate authority, if the responsible officer of the retailer gets an email immediately with the customer details, we can narrow down on the customer's agony of frustration already, yes, of complaining. We are here to resolve problems rather than get into kind of a fear psychosis. Yes. Thank you very much and appreciate the good work. Okay. In fact, you summed it up very well for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Thanks.
First of all, when it comes to your delivery, if you specify it in writing that you will deliver within this time, then in writing you specified it either on the invoice or in any other document that you will deliver it before 3 p.m. then you're accountable for it. But if it is not specified in writing, you just told them that verbally that okay, we'll deliver it within this period, then this is subject to change. But if it is specified in writing, then you should be accountable for it. You should try to check the delivery logs and everything to make sure that it's fine. The second point about the cash refund in your case, or the credit card, or any other cases in other businesses, you have to specify it in a very clear way. Tell them before they buy, when you see that, forget about the cash now. If someone will pay by credit, tell them, sir, if you purchase by credit, in case there is a defect in our product, we ensure high quality in our products, but in case there is a defect, it will take 1 to 2 weeks for the recharge. We're just informing you before you purchase. If he said okay, and the policy is visible, that he read it, fine. Then he should wait. And even if he approaches us at DED, we will tell him that you knew about it previously and you should wait for it. The third question is what you highlighted is very important, and I wanted to share it with everybody, but I really forgot about it. Some retailers, they had an additional step, and they allocated certain people to communicate with DED. This really accelerated the time of resolving problems. We'll be more than happy to get specific people from every retailer to communicate with them directly and resolve problems faster. Honestly, it happened as a approach from some retailers. They allocated some people, and the time that we resolved the problem decreased a lot. And we'll be very happy. You can send us through this email the name of the specific people, and we'll be very happy to communicate with them in regards to any complaints.
Sir, what would be the maximum days for the service, especially that of electronics? So often people, they say that they have to get it tomorrow or they are...
No, it depends. Yeah, delivery. This is you have to decide it. I don't know according to your situation there. Yeah, in general this is okay, but for us, for you it will be. You have to check.
And again, as this gentleman said, see, if these terms and conditions are printed back at the back of the invoice, that will be much better. Maybe tomorrow the consumer can say that I was not given the flyer. But can this one?
No. If we know that there is a flyer and there is a policy in the shop, and eventually it's not a process that will always believe the consumer. But on the receipt, we cannot claim that people read the receipt, and it's the receipt became having so much information, and the amount of information about the sale is that much, and all of the terms and conditions and everything about the company. Some people, they put the history of the company in the. It's not the correct place to put such information.
Only the basic information in the receipt, like the trade name, the item, the serial number, the amount. This is the basic things should be in the receipt.
Excuse me, I have a suggestion. I'm from the group. Can we write just in the invoice, if we will not be able to put all the policies and conditions in the invoice, can we write that I agree that I have received a flyer including all the policies for refunding and all this, and the invoice and check in the buyer will sign under this condition, then it will confirm for you that we already received the flyer.
It's okay if you put that. Yeah.
Another thing, we have another problem that we are putting our policies and conditions, but when a problem happens, and so we are coming to economic department. The economic department, they are objecting the policy, saying that this is not accepted.
No, you mean maybe if you write no exchange, no refund. This is by law illegal.
No, even regarding this deposit refunding, suppose that we say that in case that you cancel the order, your deposit will be deducted 10% or something, then you are coming and saying no, 10% is so much. Are there any standard conditional policies we have to take it from you and then put it in our retailer shop?
Look, I don't know, but you have to back to us because we don't know about what exactly you talk about. Which kind of complaint?
Yeah, can we bring this policy and condition to take your initial approval before putting it in the show?
We can sit with you and we can discuss this one also with you, and we can give you also our advice.
And there is a point here that I'd like to highlight. We don't want to put standardization for businesses. We don't want to have a lot of restriction for you. We'd like to give you the freedom of how to function. And if we put a standard and we're dealing with more than 1,800 activities, it might help 2-3 businesses to grow and will affect a lot of other businesses. We'll put the very general boundaries, and you know those boundaries, and you can have a lot of freedom to function within those boundaries.
Yeah,
if we put a standard for everyone, this, for example, I think last week in one of the sessions, one lady suggested that to put a standard for the policy, the company's policy, not our policy, behind the cashiers. Tell them, fine, okay, when you deal with jewelry, for example, the footfall is very minimum. Maybe you'll have 5 customers per day walking in your store, especially if you're dealing with high-end luxury jewelry. So you'll have time even to discuss and sit on a table and talk for 20 minutes about your policy. Why would I put a standard for everyone? But on the other side, a company that has high footfall and long queues on the counters, the customers might not have the time to read what's written behind the cashier. So why would I put a standard? Maybe I'd like the businesses to be creative in sending their policies. Maybe some of them will put a flyer, some of them will send an email, in regards. We would like businesses to continue to be creative in Dubai. If we put a standard, we'll just put everyone into a box. We try to avoid doing that.
In certain cases, we have consumers who come in and ask for specific products to be made custom-made. On our standard product, we have a 14-day, 100% refund policy. We say if you customize, if we make you any jewelry that is customized to you, there is no refund, there is no exchange. This is made specifically for you. You cannot come back and say, okay, I'll buy something more expensive and give it back to us. If you buy a standard product, you get 100% refund.
Okay.
So in that case, will the economic department support us in that?
Is there a defect in it?
No defect.
It's up to you.
Obviously, if there's a manufacturing defect, we're responsible. But if it is made to the specifications that the customer asks...
Even if it is not made, it is one of your display products. There is no defect in it. It's up to the retailer to change it. We're here talking about defective products. There is no defect. The consumer doesn't like it, and especially in your business, we know that they take it to a party, they come the next day, they want to change it. It's very common. We receive all complaints. We know if there is a defect only, or what specification you agreed on is not the same, which comes again to the misagreement. You agreed on a specific type of diamond, specific type of gold. This is something else. This is clear that it is not what the retailer promised to provide. But if it is exactly the same specification, it's up to you. We don't want to say, don't exchange. Because we know in electronics, they exchange and they upgrade. And they use it as a business model to compete, to take more market share. We don't want to say, khalas, don't exchange. Maybe you want to exchange. Maybe you want to increase your customer database. It's fine. Do whatever you like to do.
Sir, in terms of warranty, which you had earlier mentioned, of customer making an informed choice of what is covered and what is not covered. Now the customer is having access to warranty terms only after purchase, and in fact he does not even read the warranty card immediately. Only in case of maybe if there is a breakdown or something. So how does the law look at this? Whether the left side is covered and the right side is not covered, and
No, we did not say that the customer chooses what is covered or not. You have to tell the customer what is covered or not.
Okay.
That's it. The customer, eventually, all customers say, I want full warranty. I want guarantee even, not warranty. You have to specify.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Yes. In many instances, the consumer doesn't want the item to get repaired. He bought the item and after 1 month is coming back, then we'll repair it. And he doesn't want even to repair, and he doesn't want even a new piece. He's asking for a cash refund. He's telling he's not, he doesn't have faith in the product.
Yeah. By law, there is, three stations will be.
Yeah.
First, you have to repair it.
Yeah.
After that, if you can repair it, change it. If you can, refund. This is stage one.
So what is the time? 2 times or 3 times?
No, there's for let us we said if you give them like a warranty for 1 year,
Okay.
and during this 1 year there's a problem with this item,
Okay.
so you have right to fix it for him.
Okay.
But let we said if this problems happen 3 times, same problem, you have to change it.
Okay.
If you can't change it, you have to refund it.
My question is about the consumer's right to refund in case of down payment for certain items. If we are doing the shipment and we promise the customer it will arrive within 2 to 3 months. For some reason, the shipment, there is a delay in the shipment. It didn't arrive, and the items required are on a special order. So it's the taste of the customer. He has the right to do the down payment, to refund his down payment, okay? Where do I stand as a company in this case? Because the shipment has already left from the country of origin, okay? And as a company, I've already paid, and the customer now took his money back. This is his right, but where is my right as a company in this case?
Well, first of all, regarding your products that have been shipped from another country, for example, as a professional company, you have to have some kind of insurance on your product.
Yes.
Okay, so if anything happens, for instance, after some while, something happens, some delay, and the consumer has refunded his money back, so maybe your insurance will have some sort of compensation for you, yani. And in this matter.
The goods will already arrive. The goods will be here. I received them. But these goods are on a special order. Customer needs something, his own taste. It's nobody's other, no other taste. It's not my taste. It's customer's taste. So this will remain in my stock. For example, maybe not, or maybe yes.
Could I make a comment on that?
May I add one more point? Can you have the policy to say we have no control over delays from manufacturers?
No.
I think you need to claim it back from your manufacturer if he's the one who's delayed it, and not have the consumer take the burden of delays.
I'll just add something. No offense, but why do retailers deliver everything, especially payments to banks, on time? The problem is that we're used that consumers are needing our product. We have to change this. If you know that there is a delay, or you're shipping it from Japan and this earthquake happened, you have to have a grace period. You have to always have a grace period. If you're not sure about it, even if you have 1 month, additional 1 month. But to be safe, you have to have a grace period. Even if this manufacturer used to deliver it always in 1 month. Don't say, "Khalas, 5 weeks it will be here." You never know what happens. You have to have a grace period. And at the end of the day, yes, it is their right to take the money, because you never know what preparation they had. In some cases, we had people, for example, ordering cars, and they agreed with the shipping company, and they agreed to ship it to specific country. They paid to the shipping company. They did a lot of preparation. They did paid to some insurance and shipping brokers, everything. And then eventually the car did not arrive. So with all of the reschedule, they have to pay again. So you have to always put a grace period, and to make sure that there is a proper communication between you and the manufacturer. There are a lot of other retailers, they handle it in a different way. They know that they will end up having a refund. Before the issue happens, definitely you will know about the delay before the day of delivery. You will know about it ahead. You can always contact the consumer, offering him some discount, some other services, and you tell him that ahead of time. Ahead of time, you tell him that there will be a delay, and due to our promise to you that we'll deliver it on time, we're offering such things to you.
if you would like to do that, we know that this succeeded with a lot of retailers. And it will help you not to lose your customer.
Sir, in future, DED will be the only agency handling consumer issues, or there will be Ministry of Economy?
We are the only one here. We have agreement with Ministry of Economy. On a daily basis, we coordinate with them.
Yeah, hello. My name is Dick Rancher-Blackian from Company. It's the first time that I'm here to hear that there is this consumer protection. There is two questions I have. One is how we deal when the consumer goes to the police and the police act on their behalf. And the second thing is today all the electronics and the mobile phones are serviced by third party. It's not anymore the retailer or the distributor. So we have no control on this repairs. So how we deal with it?
I mean, the right department to receiving the complaints will be the DED, not the police.
Well, it happens that the police acted.
Yeah, sometimes happens because from the police maybe they try to help the customer, especially if there is tourists, they don't know how to come to us.
So it's not good. It has to be that the police has to direct the consumer to the right department, because there has been some cases which was very rude.
Yeah, but then they guide them to come to us. The police also always they guide the customer to come to us direct, to the DED.
In some cases, most of the cases that goes to the police is that it end up to have a personal problem, a misbehave from one parties. Then someone is not satisfied, they take it to the police. But usually, if it's a proper business activity, then even the police, they forward a lot of cases to us. But if someone humiliated someone or attacked someone, eventually the police, they have the right to intervene even by law and to resolve the issue. And the second question about the third party, if the product was not sold through you or through one of your resellers, then you're not entitled to have the warranty covered through them. A lot of people, they can import from outside, but you're not entitled to.
Those are units sold by us.
You don't have to solve it because the warranty is not provided by you. They bought it from a grey market, from a third party.
No, they bought from our store.
Okay, they bought it from your store, but through a third party, right?
No, the repair and the warranties are covered by the manufacturer in a different place.
Okay.
We don't have any control.
Okay. Yeah, you fix it from outside. Yeah, this is automatically it will be cancelled the warranty. You have right to cancel it.
Is the question is that you're selling a product but the warranties comes from the manufacturer?
Yeah, I mean the consumer has to go another place to have its unit manufactured.
You sold it,
repaired.
You sold it, you have to be
They don't allow us. The manufacturer doesn't allow us.
You have to communicate with the manufacturer. I'll give you a case that in some cases the consumer has to go through 10 steps to reach the main distributor or manufacturer. This is not appropriate. There is a case in tires, for example. Someone bought a tire and they were not, after I think 2 weeks, they were not usable. So he contacted the reseller and the reseller took him to the manufacturer. He went through a lot of steps to reach the original distributor here. And it turned out to be a case that one of the resellers mis-stored the tires in high heat store. The tire wore down. It's not the fault of the consumer. If I take the consumer to the distributor, he will not give him his money, and the reseller will not give him his money back or exchange the product. You should improve the relation between you and the distributor. If they don't allow it, they have to be compliant with the laws here.
So can this convention be together, the manufacturer and the distributor, because
this is between you and the distributor.
You have to solve the
forcing
for the customer.
You have to take it and exchange it or refund it or repair it, or take it. You don't repair it, take it.
They don't accept the manufacturer. We are losing money.
Then you should deal with the manufacturer.
No,
if the
but you have to invite the manufacturer also in this arena.
I know, but the problem is that we won't be able to bring all resellers and to fix their problems with the manufacturer.
But the manufacturer should know what is the right of the consumer.
You attended today and you should pass over.
But they don't listen.
Don't sell their products. Don't sell their products. What kind of business, if you mind? What kind of business are you?
Compumi. We have the
computers.
Stores, computers and Nokia phones.
Yes. Okay. If they should know the laws here, and if they don't accept
big companies. Nokia is a big company.
I know.
So what do you do? The consumer comes to the store, he fights with us. We tell them you have to go to this address where it has to be repaired.
Most of big companies, to be very frank, most of big companies, whenever we contact them or anyone contacts them about consumers, even if there is no consumer law, because they're international companies, they take it right away and they resolve it.
Yes.
And in a lot of cases, they even change it without having a defect.
Yes,
we experienced a lot of those.
Yeah,
but if there is a problem between you and that the manufacturer does not listen to you, we apologize that we cannot do anything.
They do repair, they do everything.
Yes.
But the relation is between the retailer and the consumer. The consumer comes to my shop to buy the product, and I have to provide the full service. Correct?
Okay.
Now, the unit that he bought from us get spoiled and he has to repair. So he comes to our shop. We say we cannot repair. You have to go to Al-Futtaim or somebody that.
The warranty is issued from who? From you or from them?
From the manufacturer.
They are here in Dubai?
Yes, the Nokia.
Okay.
I mean,
then he can approach them. He can approach them. The case that I was trying to say, if the warranty is issued by you, if the warranty is issued by them, they have a call center and everything, and you just a reseller, they can contact them. The consumer contacts them directly.
Just inform also the warranties from the company. Not
because we don't sell our warranty. Yes. We don't have warranty.
Okay. But in some businesses, the reseller do provide warranty. So in your case, it's different. In your case, you before selling, inform the consumers that if there is a defect or any problem, this is the phone number and email and contact and address of the company, and they will take care of it. And because the warranty is issued from them, from Nokia, not from Compumi.
Correct. But sometimes the consumer doesn't accept.
If you told them prior to selling it and it is clear, then they have to accept it. You're just a reseller. We have two more questions, please. Three.
Good morning. Actually, I just want to mention for the pricing, what we mention always, we announce about the cheapest prices. The customer comes to take the same item, what is mentioned. He will say, I have the right to take this price, whatever item I need. For example, if you mention for car, 70,000, he will say that I have to choose any car by this price. This is his right, or what to do about this case?
Can you again repeat your question, please?
I mean, let's talk, we are dealing with textile. We mentioned the cheapest price.
Starting from?
Starting. He's always saying, I have to take the same item, any item I choose, by this price.
You have to, you have to be clear with your, price. If you, for example, if you have some items, the price from 2, but you have to be specific more about this, the price.
But we have the same price. What we announce, we have. We can offer it to our customer, but he doesn't accept this item exactly. He's saying, I have the right to take anything I need by the same name.
You have, for example, on selected items, when you are advertising for your items, you have to be clear first of all what exactly is covered. For example, you have the prices start from 25% discount till 70% discount. But you have to mention on selected or specific items. Just to be clear for the consumer, to not make any confusion for him. So it is very much clear.
This is the first point we highlighted as an obligation of retailer: avoid misleading advertising. It might be clear to you, but to them it might not be clear. Make it specific. We don't take it that the retailer really means to take advantage of people. No. Just make it specific. It's clear for you. We know that. Make it specific for people. Okay, 70% or whatever advertising you're trying to have, just make it very specific and clear to you.
We do. We mention the price, what we have exactly, and we offer it.
No, not the price only. You say the price with what products?
Yeah, we mentioned exactly price, product, suit, 300. Once he come, I have the suit. I can offer it for him. But he's saying always, I need any suit in the showroom. This is our customer. Especially the
selected suits.
Selected item. This is.
But we cannot say in our announcing. We cannot say we mentioned suit 300. I can give him suit, but not any suit.
No, but the way it's mentioned, we've been seeing. I don't know about your business. A big sign that says suits 300. If I go and I'll expect that all suits are 300.
Yeah, but there is board in the window and there is two suits. One of them 300.
And you put them in you put the price in the middle.
The percentage.
Because you will make it confused for the consumer.
No, but we have to display just one board for each item. Shirt, suit, t-shirt. And there is two suits. One of them 300. We have to mention it's
at least put the price on the same suit itself.
In the same, but there is two mannequin. Between them.
You put the price in between or on the suit?
No, between them. We cannot put it there.
This is the confusion.
No, see, for me, when I'm going to your shop, when I see this kind of advertisement, I will be misled. You should be specifying the product that you are selling, or the brand at least. You have to be clear regarding your advertisement. It is making for me even a confusion. If I came to your shop and I see the prices, suits, you just write suits 300. Okay, what kind of suits? If you want to go detailed into the law, you will be forced to have any suit in your store with the 300 dirham. If I want to specify it by law, so it is obvious. You should be clear with your advertisement. There's two more questions.
My name is Mahmoud. I'm from the Kana Group. It's not a question, it's just a comment that I have to make. You mentioned at the end of the day we are more of a consumer than a retailer. This program, I believe it's the first in the GCC, and it has helped me, my wife as well, when she goes in shopping, and it's more of a taking care of most of my headaches. It is indeed curbing the misleading advertisement, plus it is increasing customer service as well. It is also enhancing and introducing, which was never there, the program of customer training. We have seen someone was selling something, then next day he changed his visa and selling something else. I was buying a car at one of the showrooms, I wouldn't take the name, and I asked him what's the wheelbase of the vehicle. He said, sir, it's the 17-inch. He was rather telling me the size of the alloy wheel. So indeed, yes, it's a very good program, and I hope it doesn't stay in just Dubai, it expand much more often, and it will eventually. And it is helping our business which provide high services, and we charge for our services. And then again, if other businesses are putting misleading.
If it's the other way around. Now we have cases, people coming to ask for prescription contact lenses. We place the order and we bring it in time. And we tell the people you need to collect it within 3 months. There is expiry date or other stuff. Now the people don't come. We try to call them up, they no answer. And suddenly they turn up 2 years later asking for the product. Now it's already expired. Now,
based on your, you know your business more than us.
Yeah.
If you specify that if you purchase it within 2 or 3 months, you try as much as you can communicating or trying to reach the customers, then you have the right to resell it to someone else, and if they want, they can purchase it again. And Mr. Adel and myself and Ahmed will be here for further questions. I'd like to thank you again, and we'll appreciate it if we can fill out the questionnaire. Thank you.